I sold a property that went on record 2 days ago in Elk Grove. It was a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, about 3,800 square feet. Listed it at $959, got 4 offers, and it sold $66,000 above list price for $1,025,000. And Carlos sends me a message because he bought a handful of properties in Elk Grove, 12, 13 years ago for under $250,000.
Yeah.
And his first question to me is, there's homes in Elk Grove that are selling for over $1 million. And it's pretty wild when you see a city like that that's grown.
The number one lender in the country that we do a ton of business with has rolled out a program that fights affordability and helps our borrowers. So normally the seller has to pay for the temporary buy down, the first 12 months of the payment being 1% lower than the fully indexed rate. The bank is now offering for them to pay for that 1.0 buy down.
And I'm going to use myself as an example because I recently flipped a home in the Antelope area, and you would think that I would be able to take my own advice.
How was that meeting with the seller? How did that go, man?
It was rough. A lot of homes don't fit the description in today's market where we have higher interest rates, where you can test the market. All right, man. Legacy Lounge. Sometimes people want to talk.
We have incredible guests here.
What's up, brother?
The definition of the Legacy Lounge is the stuff that he's putting together. He's a great community leader. His story is amazing.
All right, man. We're back in the lounge. Good to see you.
Man, great to see you, man.
I don't think it's probably been at least over a good year since I've seen you twice in the last 3 days.
Man, it's pretty crazy, but you know why I saw you recently?
Birthday.
It was your birthday, man.
Man, it feels good to be in the 30 club.
Man.
Big 3-0. Just kidding.
I love it.
We even got Nate back here. Nate's been hustling. Good to see you, Nate. We're one shy of episode 70, which is pretty incredible. This is our real estate update and a lot to catch up on. We haven't been in this lounge in a month, which seems like forever.
Yeah, that was my fault, man. I had, just trying to be there for my daughter who got a softball injury and had surgery down in Southern California, and we couldn't leave down there for a while. But so I appreciate you rolling with me. But you know, all day, every day, family first, baby.
Let's go. So what's up with the quick shout out to Lex? She has her first year. It's pretty bumpy start, obviously.
Yeah.
Talk about the surgery, the recovery, and how long you were out there with your daughter.
She got hurt first week of strength and conditioning with the team. She still practiced, couldn't throw, couldn't swing, and everything trying to fix whatever the problem was and diagnose it. Nothing was working, couldn't get any diagnosis. Finally got diagnosed with TOS, thoracic outlet syndrome, which required surgery, and the surgery is to take her first rib out, just under the clavicle. So this wasn't a minor thing.
So that's out.
That's completely out. It was about a 5-inch bone that came out.
Does she get to keep it?
She does have it.
Oh, my word.
Which is crazy. I'm not sure what she plans to do with it, but all the worries of a person that's been around sports and injuries and things, I think she was not oblivious, but she didn't understand the gravity of it. But successful surgery, no complications. She's back in Northern California, and high hopes that she can not only fully recover, but be able to play again. So really excited to be on this side of it and having no complications.
So is school still in session right now for her?
No, she had surgery the Thursday after she took her last final. So
that's convenient.
Done. Yeah, the planned out pretty well, and so she's here for the summer. She just gets to rehab, and that's a good thing.
Nice. Well, shout out Lex. Glad the recovery is going well, and it's going to be a grind to get into that starting catcher position and start getting back to work.
Yeah, she's hungry though, man. She has a great team down there, and she loves them. She wants to be a part of it.
Let's talk about the fellow Gemini. That's my guy, which is crazy that we're pretty much almost at eye level now, which is your 18-year-old today's birthday for Kai.
Oh man, all the feels today, man. My first son is now 18 years old, and tomorrow he graduates from high school. I don't know what to do with myself right now, man. All the feels are going on. I don't want to miss any of it, but you give them a little space. They got all these graduation parties and everything like that, but it's just wild, man. It's just wild. He got to join us at your birthday party. He came
Yep.
over and said hi to everybody, and I'm just blown away, man. Where does time go?
So if the camera's on you right now, it's Kai's birthday. Kai's watching this. What do you have to say to Kai?
Man, everything you dream of in a son has happened with my first boy born. And to say I'm proud is an understatement. I'm so proud of him, what he's done up until this point, and the potential of what he can do going forward. And man, I just want to tell him I love him.
Let's go, man. And I'm just gonna piggyback on that, Kai. Proud of you, man. I think I met Kai about 8 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, he was either 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. I was chasing him around, and I could honestly say, Kai, that I'm scared of you as a 43-year-old adult. But with all the good stuff he's got going on in sports, more than anything, he's got a really, really good head on his shoulders. He's respectful, he's mature, he's kind, caring, and you should be proud of yourself, man. You guys have done a wonderful job with that young man, and we'll see what the future holds for young Kai Jacques.
Oh, man. It's awesome hearing it, man, and gosh, I love that kid.
I mean, I'm doing my best right now to get you to cry, but
listen,
I'm seeing shaky knees, and you're staying strong right now.
I'm like looking this way a little bit while you're talking.
Well, I've seen just how you showed up for your kids, all three of them, and it's been pretty awesome to watch. And I'm looking forward to the next stages because
Agreed.
that means that I get to pull you back in. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
we can start climbing this real estate mountain together.
Agreed. Hey, Chris, we can do a lot of business in July. I won't be gone the whole time, man. You ready to get to work?
Well, June's coming up.
I know, but July was my big travel month. June, I was traveling a little bit, but I really don't have to leave much for this summer. So that's a good thing, man. I'm ready.
I'm ready for the grind. And with that being said, the last 2 weeks, I can't even recall receiving this much referred business in a sales volume perspective as I've received in the last 2 weeks. I sent you one of the referrals.
Yes.
And this is like a textbook situation where you have a past client that's in a good situation. What do I mean by that? I helped them purchase their home in West Sacramento back in 2014. So they're sitting on a ton of equity, very low interest rate, and they really don't owe a ton on their mortgage. But you know, their one daughter is getting close to that graduating high school age.
Yep.
And they got their eye on another property in West Sacramento that presents some pretty unique opportunities. So they reached out to me, and they wanted to go view the property at an open house. Of course, I made them reach out to you.
Yep.
Had to have them sign a buyer broker agreement because technically you can't really show any property or even have them go to an open house without that agreement. So we got that signed. They've been very happy with your communication. This is my longtime client, Ben and Stacy. And if it all works out, which I'm hoping it will, listing agent on that property is my mentor, Olivia Barrett.
Oh, man.
I always give her kudos.
Special.
But that sales price is a $910,000 property. And then if they can buy non-contingent, if this all kind of goes together, the house that they'll be selling after the fact will be right around $700,000. So that's really cool. Also got another past client that reached out that I helped purchase. They helped them purchase a property right around the corner from Jesuit High School.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So when they bought that property, it was priced at $895,000.
Wow. $895 around Jesuit. You don't see that much anymore.
And a big property too. It's like a 5-bedroom, 2,800 square foot home. Might be a little less, but it's a big 2-story property with a pool. That property is appreciated in the last 10 years about $400,000. So that's really cool. Both of their kids are now out of the house. and they're looking to kind of buy now their forever home.
Yeah.
So I'm showing them a property at 1.4 million over the weekend in Carmichael. So that's exciting.
Yes.
And then to put the cherry on top, I got a listing coming up. This is from a past client referral of a couple that's going to be retiring and relocating to Nevada.
Wow.
So something that we hear often,
Yep.
right? California is a pretty expensive place to live.
Mm-hmm.
They own 2 properties here in Sacramento. The first one that I'm going to be doing a full remodel of the kitchen before we put the property on the market is located in one of the nicest neighborhoods, which is only about a mile from here, which is in East Sacramento.
Yep.
So it's off of 38th and Folsom.
Wow.
Beautiful 3-4 bedroom, 3 bathroom, about 2,300 square feet with a pool that I'll be listing for about 1.2 million. And then once that sells, their primary is in River Park, which is pretty much butts to East Sacramento. That property is a monster, like a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2,600 square feet that we'll be listing for somewhere between like 1.2 and 1.3. Wow. So the cool trend about what I'm telling you is a lot of $1 million here, $1.2 million, $1.4 million, which I kind of have to pinch myself because, you know, throughout my career, you know, starting off where the average sales prices were in like the 2s.
Yep.
But this is the beauty of having clients that you've helped maybe 10, 12 years ago is real estate, man.
Yeah.
The values go up, especially if you're purchasing in places like, you know, Wilhagen or East Sac or River Park. So I'm really, really excited about that. I feel like we've been talking about this really throughout the year of like, we predicted that come around summertime, things are going to start moving.
Yeah.
But these are all serious needs. These are people that are
ones, yes.
Yeah, these are you know, step up purchases. My kids are out of the house. I want my forever home. And I just actually sold a property in Elk Grove, which was crazy. You ran into our friend Carlos, who we had on the podcast, and he couldn't believe it when I made this post. But I sold a property that went on record 2 days ago in Elk Grove. It was a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, about 3,800 square feet. Listed it at $959, got 4 offers, and it sold $66,000 above list price for $1,025,000. And Carlos sends me a message because, you know, he bought a handful of properties in Elk Grove, you know, 12, 13 years ago for under $250,000.
Yeah.
And his first question to me is, there's homes in Elk Grove that are selling for over $1 million. And it's pretty wild when you see a city like that that's grown and just the demand from the Bay Area buyers, and it's pretty wild, man. So definitely feels good to have a pinch in the arm, you know, just being rejuvenated, so to speak, with what's going on in the marketplace.
That's super interesting to me because it seems like we're not having this little lull at the price point that you're at, that these properties are at, that we're seeing at some others. You know, with the tick up in interest rates and everything like that, you get some people kind of worried about what's going on out there.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem to be the case at the purchase price you're talking about.
I do not see a lot of slowdown or lack of buyers in the higher luxury price points.
Correct.
And I think the reason being is they're just a little bit more of a refined buyer. Maybe that's AKA they have more money.
They do.
Right? It makes, you know, when you're purchasing a property and you're able to put 40, 50% down,
exactly,
it softens the blow. But uniquely, you know, I listed a property in West Sacramento, and it was listed at $615. We ended up getting 2 offers, and we were only on the market for 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
And we went pending for $7,000 above list price.
Great.
That's a huge win.
Great.
Right? We got through inspections. They asked for a $8,000 credit. We negotiated that down to a $5,000. So they're still going to be walking away selling their property for $2,000 above list price.
Incredible.
That being said, I'm still seeing in certain price points. I think it has to do more with location than it does the price point. Sometimes
Good call.
they go hand in hand,
Good call.
but I still am seeing a ton of properties on the market in that 450 to 650 price range. We'll call that, to be in a decent neighborhood in the greater Sacramento area, we'll call that price point the first time buyer price point.
I agree with that.
And I'm seeing still a lot of hesitancy, reluctancy, buyers that are out there, they're thinking about it over and over and
Yes.
over again. Are you seeing that too?
I 100% am seeing that. Literally, seeing things that are popping up during the transaction that normally people wouldn't blink at, no matter if it's on a inspection or anything like that. But we're having a little bit of trouble with some of the appraisals here and there, and obviously that's the part that we don't have any influence over.
Right.
But if I've heard just today, we had an event at our office, and I heard one of the other agents talk about during a transaction, because rates jumped up and it made such a difference on the monthly payment. Obviously, that is only an issue if you don't lock and you float while rates are moving, right? But that happened on one of the transactions, and the only way that they were able to close it is during the middle of it, try to negotiate a seller credit to buy back down the interest rate. That's the stuff. It's a little bit of planning. When I hear that, that sounds like a misstep of instruction from a loan officer to a buyer. But we're seeing a little bit of a battle for a lot of the active transactions that I wasn't seeing for a while, and rates obviously drive a lot of that pressure.
Right. I think for the sellers that are listening to this, I think it's really, really important for agents like myself to give them as much market data, research, and education as humanly possible.
Yes.
Before their home hits the market.
Yes.
And I'm going to use myself as an example because I recently flipped a home in the Antelope area, and you would think that I would be able to take my own advice.
How was that meeting with the seller? How did that go, man?
It was rough. One of the things you hear over and over and over again is don't chase the market. And so what do you mean by that? What does that mean? Well, it means, you have one chance to make a first impression when a home hits the market on where you're priced, right? And I just don't think that we're in the marketplace. A lot of homes don't fit the description in today's market where we have higher interest rates, where you can test the market. So what does that mean? Well, I was ready to hit the market at $499, and then our budget started to get really, really thin towards the end. And I made the decision to let's just list this property at $515. I think there's enough wiggle room. I saw a comp or two, right? But what ended up happening is we hit the market at $515, and literally the same week that we hit the market, like 6 or 7 other homes in the same area hit the market, well below us. And then from that point, it was like we just couldn't stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
So we were on the market for 56 days, which that's a pretty long time for any person that's selling their home.
Yeah.
But when it's a flip and you're paying really high carrying costs, 56 days feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
And we went from $515 to $499 to $489, all the way down to $479.
Ooh.
And then we finally got an offer. And when we got the offer, luckily it was full price, but they asked for a $10,000 seller credit. Why were they asking for that $10,000 seller credit? To buy down that interest rate.
That's right.
So that story that I'm sharing, I feel, is a pretty applicable story of what's happening in the marketplace.
Yep.
If you're a buyer, I think you have a really good opportunity if you're looking at properties and you've maybe found a property or two that's appealing to you. If it's been on the market for over 2 weeks, chances are that, if that seller is motivated, they're going to probably be open to giving you a $15,000 credit.
Yes.
So, that's just something that you can't cut corners on. I learned the hard way on that, trying to test the market. I was talking to Olivia Barrett who I mentioned her name yesterday, and she just flat out told me, and I mean, this is someone that's probably flipped close to 100 homes in her lifetime, and she's like, we're just not flipping homes anymore.
Dang.
I mean, that's
She said that.
She said that.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you know, that's pretty wild to kind of wrap your head around. But you mentioned a program which kind of plays into the same stuff that I'm talking about right now, which is, you know, asking a seller for like a $10,000 credit. You know, buyers are out in the marketplace right now. They're motivated to get into a home, but they're also probably extremely nervous based on where the interest rates are at. Talk about this program that could be pretty helpful.
It's really cool, man. Not only have I already been using it for multiple clients, but we have another 30-day window, well, the end of June, that it's good through. We know affordability is an issue right now. Rates ticking up is not good for anybody. What we've seen a lot of over the last year, a little bit over a year, is negotiating a seller credit so that we can do temporary or permanent buy downs. So a permanent buy down is just buying down the interest rate to, let's say, from a 6.5% to a 5.99, and it stays there the whole time. A temporary buy down would be same thing, starting at a 6.5% would be the normal rate, but you temporarily buy it down for either the first 1 or 2 years to be 1 point or 2 points lower than that. So a 6.5% would be a 5.5% for the first year on a 1.0 buy down. The number one lender in the country that we do a ton of business with has rolled out a program that fights affordability and helps our borrowers. So normally the seller has to pay for the temporary buy down, the first 12 months of the payment being 1% lower than the fully indexed rate. The bank is now offering for them to pay for that 1.0 buy down. So again, the example of a 6.5% interest rate on a conventional loan, normally you would have to negotiate the seller to help you buy that down for the first 12 months. Now the bank is giving it for free, so you can enjoy a 5.5% for the first 12 payments in that hypothetical scenario.
How's the bank offering that for free?
They're making less on the transaction because of it. So there's obviously enough of a margin to cover it. It eats into their profitability, but they obviously, volume makes up for a lot of stuff in our market. So they want the blocks of loans. They want the advantage. And so they are offering it for basically, it was like a 45-day period of time, and I've already been able to utilize it. But you had a great question for me. He was like, well, can we still negotiate the seller to help buy down that rate? Yes. If you are able to negotiate, let's say a 10K seller credit, and we have a free 1.0 buy down, then we have the ability to use the 10K to buy the interest rate down from 6.5% down to, let's say, 5.99, just to me, a round number. And then the bank has their 1.0 buy down to put on top of that. That means fully indexed rate is now bought down to 5.99. First 12 payments you get at 4.99%. Our borrowers win when using things like this that come out of, I've never seen this before. That's literally never seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, can that also maybe potentially help a borrower that is trying to push a sales price and the debt to income ratios maybe kind of getting a little high?
Great question there. So 1.0 buy downs and 2.1 buy downs that are temporary, it doesn't help the debt to income ratio.
So you're qualifying them on the higher rate.
on the full payment.
Okay.
The buy down, the permanent buy down, if you mix them both, just like that second scenario, yes, that helps with the debt to income ratio as well. But you know, we have people right now just purely scared because they're like, hey, rates are up. I don't want to pay this much.
Right.
And we believe this is going to blow over. Can't guarantee it, but we believe this is just a blip in the interest rates coming back down. If that's the case, this temporary relief of that pressure is huge, and you're still negotiating like crazy on all of your transactions. So the mixture of both, that's the 1-2 punch that saves our borrowers a ton of money.
So overall, with a lot of the escrows that you've recently opened / closed, would you say that at least half, if maybe not a little bit more, you're seeing things like seller credits?
At least half, yes. We are seeing still plenty of credits, although I've seen more of going into contract and during the inspections is where we've seen some credits pop up and everything, because there's still a little bit more competition out there. Every listing that you said, other than the one of your own flip, had multiple offers, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard to negotiate those when there's other players in the game over there. So some of them have come later, but at least half of them have had something from the seller for sure.
Conventional versus FHA,
Mhm.
would you say right now that your pipeline's like an equal 50-50 blend of those?
It's equal. So I work with a lot of first-time home buyers and people not putting a bunch of money down. Right now, unless you have through-the-roof credit, the payment's better on FHA. I know all of you listing agents don't like to see FHA offers, but the reality is our borrowers benefit from it. You're worried about the appraisal being in more depth. I get it. But the payment is better unless you start putting more than 5% down on conventional. That's when conventional starts to win. So yeah, I got a mixture of both because I do a lot of first-time home buyer stuff. But you know, the people who are putting money down, we always go conventional. And I got I got a monster purchase for 2.3 million, but he's putting a hefty amount down. So with the sale of his other property, and he was so excited about the 1.0 buy down. You would think a $2.3 million purchase that he's putting 1.4 down and everything, wouldn't be worried about that. Ecstatic for the 1.0 buy down because it's free, right?
Yep.
It just helps. And so obviously you would never consider anything other than conventional for something like that. But whatever gives my borrower the least payment and the lowest cost, that's what I'm about.
So I want to pick your brain on a fun one. So I'm just curious, put yourself in a position where you're going to be selling your home.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be clearing after you sell your home and paying off your mortgage and everything. You're going to clear $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to buy another home.
Yes.
20% down on this next home that you want to buy
Mm-hmm.
is about $280,000.
Mm-hmm.
What avenue do you think you would go? Would you go the avenue where you're going to take basically every penny
Mm-hmm.
because there's still closing costs on top of that $280,000 to put that 20% down and go that route? Or if you can qualify still, would you be more of a fan of having a higher payment and putting 10% down so that at the end of the day, you can have an additional, let's call it $120,000 that you can pocket into your bank account? Which route would you go?
Cash is king. I don't like to see people overextending. Obviously, I'm not the one who makes the decision, but I 100% would be putting down on paper and looking at the differences between them both. I would lean towards keeping some money on hand because the monthly payment isn't going to be so egregious, the differences between it, that it would hurt to not put all that money down. But that it's a personal preference. Everybody does their budget different, right? Different. So, I'd be looking closely at my budget and find out if I'm comfortable with that slightly higher payment. But having that much money on hand for many different reasons, in my book, goes a long way.
What do you think? I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'm putting you on the spot because now I'm curious. But what do you think that difference in monthly payment is on a 10% versus a 20% down payment on $1 million home? Is it like more than like $1,000 a month difference?
So every $15K difference of me putting down a payment is usually going to change the payment by $100. So let me do a quick math here. It's probably like $500-600 just in the loan amount, but you might have to add in some mortgage insurance. You do have to add in some mortgage insurance. So I'm going to guess it's going to be like $700 difference to keep $100,000 in your pocket.
And let's just say too that we get really lucky and rates go from, are they right around 6.5 right now?
They're north of that. We're going to banks that are keeping it around that amount.
They're like 6.75,
Yeah, correct.
6.875.
At most banks. You got to go to the bottom feeders to get at that 6.5 without buying it down.
And then let's just say we get so lucky it's not even funny and the rates just drop tremendously and they drop all the way down to, we'll call it 5.25. from going from like a 6.75 to like 5.25, that could potentially drop the payment by about $500 to $700 a month.
Correct. It sure can.
So I think that's probably a gamble that I'd be willing to take to have some safety and have some more reserves in the bank account, and not have it tied up in my home.
I agree. Let's play devil's advocate here. What if you get in here, only put down $100,000, and you're sitting on $100,000, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to have this amount here. Like, I should put it towards there. You still have the ability to put that money towards your property. And yes, you can refinance if the rate is lower and bring that extra amount in. Some people will say, hey, I don't want to do extra financing. My clients come back to me. I do free refinances, no cost, no hard cost. We have the bank cover the hard costs on there. But let's say you go to regular person that doesn't do that. Some people are like, hey, I don't want to pay the fees of going through a refinance again. You can still put a lump sum of money on your existing loan and do what's called recasting. So if you put $100,000 more on your loan, great. You're now ahead of schedule. Instead of a 30-year, you probably knocked off, 7 years on the loan, but it doesn't change your monthly payment. You can actually put that amount down, do what's called recasting, still recast over that 30-year loan, and now you can lower that monthly payment without paying refinance fees. So you have a couple options.
I'd rather take the $100,000 and go to Vegas and see if you and I can do some gambling, play some golf, and try to double that money somehow.
Listen, I don't suggest that for anybody other than you. I'm here for it.
So good, man. Well, your name's not Manuel. It's actually Rene, but it's close. Manuel and Rene. Those are very similar names. Let's now transition. Got a big game tonight. And, Nate's over there smiling. I just want to make sure that everyone listening here knows that, one, I think it's just funny that how many people just do not like the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're like a team that I feel people just don't like that much. I don't know if it has to.
They earned it.
Yeah, I don't know if it has to do with SGA and what people say.
It's how they play, man. That flopping stuff, nobody likes it, dog.
Okay. I'm torn because I think, like, for example, the New York Knicks, they're in the finals.
Yep. Wow.
If you look at the tape, I don't really think there's anyone in the league that flops more than Jalen Brunson. I mean, no, it's literally that close. But
you might be right.
The game is different today than it was 10, 20 years ago. And I'm still going to give SGA his flowers. The guy is
great.
The guy is phenomenal.
He's great, but that's my frustration. You don't need to do that. He's that good.
Yeah. Well, we can talk for hours and hours about, to me, I think this is more of a league, like a NBA referee issue than it is a player issue. The players are just playing with how the game is officiated.
Agreed.
So I'm not going to hate too much on them. What I've been seeing out of Wemby has been just mind-boggling.
Yep.
And I'll say this, you can still see, well, he's a baby at 22.
Yep.
You've seen him lose his composure a few times during this series. And I still think that he's about 1 year out. I don't see the Spurs winning this series. I think the Thunder take this series. And then my other prediction, despite what people like, I heard Reggie Miller say, I think in the NBA Finals, the Knicks won't win more than 2 games.
I don't see that either.
Oh, you agree?
I agree with that.
Wow. Reggie Miller, who's freaking, how much he's hated New York, he says that they're the team to beat in the finals.
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I mean, the West, the Spurs and the Thunder are extremely talented teams, man. They to me are head and shoulders above what anything the East had. And yeah, the Knicks are running through the East, but
it's the East.
It's the East, man. So I'm not there. Obviously, you and I have been on the opposite side of this great battle. It won't surprise me if the Thunder win, but I think they'll win in 7. I mean, I think it's going 7. Is Game 7 on Saturday or Sunday?
I don't think that there's going to be a game
You
7.
think you think the Thunder going in there and handling them tonight?
I do.
Ooh,
I know
do
that's
not.
wild.
Yeah.
I just when you watch these two
Shoot, I
teams,
hope not. Just from selfish reasons, it's such a good series.
It
man.
is. the Thunder dominated. I don't know if I'm using the word dominated, but I mean, they were up by like 20 points at one point.
Mhm.
They blew that lead, but like they kicked the Spurs' butt last game with 2 of their starters out.
Mhm.
And I think that their bench is just a little deeper than
The bench is deeper. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
And then the other thing is they've been here before. I
Yeah.
think the Spurs have some crazy young talent. I think the 2 players I've been the most blown away with outside of Wemby has been Dylan Harper. That guy's he's a baller.
Yep.
And I really like who's the point guard? Castle, man.
Beast,
dude.
Hey, he's fun to watch, man.
He's got that anger too. When he plays with anger.
Dog.
So tonight, who do you got? Spurs or Thunder?
Spurs tonight.
And then who do you got for the series?
So I'm not going to go off my pick. I thought the Spurs were going to win the series, and I called this earlier in.
You called it in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, in the middle of the season. And you know, I've been on you about not overreacting to what you see during the season. This was an exception to me because I liked the matchups that I saw. I really thought it favored that. But you know, you can tell how the whistles are going is usually each game how it's ended. You know what I'm saying? If they got away with the whistles, if he gets those calls, when they slow it down and shoot a bunch of free throws, they've been handling them. When it didn't go that route, the Spurs have been fine, right? So
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
The Spurs lost that game on something greater than whistles, though, in my opinion. Wemby had like 4 shot attempts in the first half.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Which is ridiculous.
That was dumb.
I mean, to me, it's just like there's nobody in the world that can stop that guy.
Yeah.
So like, if I'm the Spurs, man, I'm running that thing through Wemby all game.
Yeah, they
long.
won't make that mistake again. That's
Right.
why I think this is a bounce back game. And as young as both teams are, you can see when somebody's playing out of like, this is my season, right? You know, like the Thunder could have ended it in game 4, and one team played like their season was riding on it and one didn't.
Yep.
The Thunder know they can go home. It's almost impossible to not kind of have that in your back pocket.
Yep.
So that's why I think it goes 7. But the Thunder are so good, it won't surprise me. I got
Spurs. You got
Spurs tonight, and I got Spurs shocking the world in 7.
Okay. And then in the finals, we'll say to be determined. How many games do you have?
Gentlemen's sweep.
How really?
Gentlemen's sweep 4-1.
Woo-wee.
And I don't care if it's the Spurs or the Thunder. Gentlemen's sweep.
All right.
That's what I got. What you think?
I'm thinking that the Knicks will get 2, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It'll be unique to see. The Knicks are playing with house money, so there's that. They're playing really good. I also think too, to like a certain degree, we're almost like not giving Towns enough credit. Like he's a pretty good center.
He is, man. I can't even hear his name and not giggle at that dude, man. I'm sorry, man.
And the Knicks,
don't say give him his flowers. That's the wrong dude to say that to, man.
No, the Knicks definitely have some shooters. They really do. They got some lights out shooters. I really like that white boy with the what's that guy's? I think his last name starts with a K. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, the guy's a dog. He's a lefty.
So tell me this, Kings fan. How do you feel seeing your coach go and do his thing in New York and De'Aaron Fox in the Western Conference Finals, man? How do you feel as a Kings fan, man?
I would not categorize myself as a De'Aaron Fox hater because I'm not. I think Castle's better than Fox, which is
Fox is not healthy either. Right? He's battling it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I wasn't the biggest Fox fan, like that's for sure. So I'm just.
I think when he was with the Kings, I was a massive Fox fan. I don't know. I would just say
He's a great player.
Fox is great. Maybe it is a little from injury, but I haven't seen him. He hasn't like asserted his dominance at all.
Yeah,
In this,
he doesn't look right to me
in
out
this
there.
series.
Yeah.
But for Mike Brown, dude, I couldn't believe our shitty organization letting him go. And the
From
fact,
the beginning, we've been saying it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not revisionist history. You felt that way from day one.
oh yeah, 100%. Mike Brown's, I would consider like an old school coach too, man.
No doubt.
So yeah, man, he's in the finals, and it's crazy to just be coaching the Kings and then getting fired to 2 years later ending up in the NBA finals.
And it's not like he went to some powerhouse. The Knicks have been dang near cursed, right?
Yeah.
You know? So good for him, man. And another icing on the cake for him, man. He got to beat down the organization that fired him twice, Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Just handed him. Take that, suckers.
They got whooped.
Man, that was crazy.
Well, good stuff, man. It's good to have you back.
Yes, sir.
We got some good episodes on the way. I've been kind of waiting to just kind of get them lined up. You're still working on a couple of them, but we've had a couple powerhouse cyclists in this room: Derek Teal, Vince Murdoch. I just purchased I'm going to call it my dream bike because it is my dream bike, but from the best cycle shop in Sacramento called Kinetic Cycles, which Vince goes there, Derek goes there, and we're going to have the owners in the lounge. Maybe just the son. His name's Cody Kaiser. He's used to race competitively for USA.
Love it.
The guy's a beast, but they have a wonderful shop in the Arden Town Center, and we're going to have those guys representing all sorts of good stuff in the cycling world. So can't wait to get some more episodes on the books with you.
Got some good ones coming, man. So it's on, man.
Right on, brother. We're
All right,
out.
have a good one.